Despite being the biggest franchise in movie history, the MCU is not infallible and there are some resolutions that it will need to make in 2025 and beyond. The MCU timeline is in the middle of the multiverse saga and has stumbled quite a few times post-Avengers Endgame. No matter what, though, the MCU has proven time and again that it can still produce a hit, with a handful of movies in the past few years being some of their biggest hits of all time. There is a lot to like about the MCU's release slate, with some of the biggest movies the franchise has ever made on the horizon. Still, the MCU will need to clean up a few things and nail a few others to really give this second saga of theirs a chance to end on a high note. Here are 10 resolutions the MCU must make in 2025 and beyond. Lower its production budgets across movies and TV. High budgets make it harder to turn a profit. One of the biggest detriments to the MCU over the past few years is the bloated production budgets. Of course, COVID is partially responsible for some of these massive numbers, but films like the Marvels shouldn't cost $270 million and an Ant-Man movie shouldn't even come close to a $300 million budget. It's unsustainable for Marvel Studios and causes some of these films to be financial flops or underperformers when they fail to even recoup their massive production costs. Besides, the MCU has shown that bigger budgets don't make projects better. When looking at the TV side of things, Agatha All Along was the least expensive MCU series yet, while Secret Invasion was the most expensive. Only one of these series was even good, and it definitely wasn't the one that used AI opening credits despite having a production budget larger than nearly all the films in the MCU. 9. Finally bring together the Young Avengers. The Young Avengers are now 5 years in the making. One thing the MCU needs to do, and hopefully soon, is finally bring the Young Avengers together. When Phase 4 kicked off, it felt like Marvel Studios really wanted to begin to lay the groundwork for the younger superhero team, as a number of members were introduced in various multiverse saga projects. All the major pieces are essentially on the board, save for Tommy, which feels like the perfect time for the MCU to finally have these younger heroes join together as the Young Avengers. The Avengers franchise has consistently been the biggest franchise for the MCU in terms of box office, as all 4 films are in the top 5. A Young Avengers movie might not reach those exact heights, but there is a lot of potential for a team full of younger heroes that could essentially work like Marvel's version of the Teen Titans. The MCU has shown a willingness to have multiple superhero teams with the Thunderbolts, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Avengers. Maybe it's time to throw in the Young Avengers. 8. Have another billion-dollar box office success? Huge hits like Spider-Man and Deadpool bolster the MCU. When Phase 3 was in full swing in the lead-up to Avengers: Infinity War, it felt like the MCU could do no wrong, as the Infinity Saga had a large number of movies earn well over $1 billion at the box office. Post-Avengers Endgame has had 3, with 2 of those being Spider-Man, and the other had Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman reprising their iconic roles for the MCU this time around. There have been quite a few more duds in the multiverse saga as well, and it could do the MCU good to reach those massive financial heights again, realizing the potential the saga has always had. A big test for this will be to see how audiences react to the Fantastic Four: First Steps. If that film could come close to the coveted $1 billion mark, it could mean very good things for the future of the MCU, where they are one of the premier teams alongside the X-Men.